Hi, it's Nancy welcoming you to Garden Scroll. Today is May the 19th and I have been busy trying to get my pots all filled up. These are a little scraggly and so I'm probably going to see if I can purchase some more plants for these. But I'll just have to wait and see. Actually, if these would work, that would be the best scenario. Look at this beautiful little Angelonia. That color is so pretty, and this has also got a pink or purple in it, so I think it will look good together. This is a purslane moss, and I'm just going to take a quick moment on here right now, and I'll be showing them all to you better later. And also, the wind or some animal came through the night and knocked this over for me, so you can't always just do what you want to do or what you need to do, because you need to do something else too. But I'm coming along. I really am. You can tell I've got all of these pots filled up with hostas now in the back, except this one right here. And I'm going to see the next time I go to a plant nursery if I can find a hosta that I like. And if I can't, I'll probably still end up dividing this little hosta, which does so well for me. My daughter said, "Mom, you should look at my hosta. It's so happy." And then she sent me a picture. And then I went to my great nephew's graduation. Congratulations, Ben. And his mother, my niece, took a picture of hers and sent it to me and said, "I meant to point this out to you. This is the plant you gave me, and I think of you every time I see it." So that made me feel a little special, So I just planned on taking a few pictures, and I'll show you the pictures that I want to take while they're just in a spot that they look nice. But I thought I better just go ahead and do this first. And I don't know if I told you that I did go ahead and put my bougainvillea in this little pot, and I'm hoping it will do great. I put the other little piece of the asparagus fern in this little pot, and it's going to fill this whole pot out if it will do well. And then this one is the pretty yellow, and it's fixing to bloom. The bloom came off of it when I purchased it, but anyway, you're going to get to see it now as soon as this blooms, hopefully. And as my husband and I came out the back gate, this is the little plant that was blooming right in front of this pot that I think will make a pretty picture. And this is called verbascum, or miniature hollyhock. Today is May the 20th. And I finished the plants that I had last night just before dark. So these little places where they were waiting are empty now. This is actually a little volunteer. There's another one. Strawberry Fields Gomfrina. I should have got those up when they were real young, where I could get them up without damaging their root. But I imagine that I'll probably have enough here and there to enjoy. I do love it when they've been in the ground long enough that they just come up volunteer the next year. But also this little spider zinnias are kind of outdoing them as far as putting down seed and coming up. I like them all, but of course I don't really like anything that destroys another plant, that becomes so invasive that they just take over. But these little strawberry fields so far have not done that, and I love them. There's just that little round shape, and just the they're just fun, and they're a beautiful little plant. These are actually pretty too, but they can get out of hand, as you can see right here how many of them are growing up. And if that didn't strike you as a problem, maybe this will show you what I mean, because they're just coming up everywhere here. Of course, I have nothing else here planted other than a few little irises. So I may leave some of these, or I may go ahead and take these up and plant something else here. I don't really want them to just continue growing and growing and putting down more and more. But they are pretty little flowers. The Caffofia is doing well. It won't be long though till they're spent. You can tell this one right here is trying to succumb, but most of them are still quite beautiful. It felt so good this morning to put on clean clothes, not garden stained clothes. And we went to a couple of nursery places. Wait, make that 3. Went to 3 different nursery places. And I still want to go to Walmart and see what they have, basically. And then also get some soil and probably some more topsoil. And as you can see, most of my red lilies, oriental lilies, are blooming. I'm really tired of planting, and I got so tired of it last night that I just began putting them in without trying to take so much time to figure out, now where would this be the prettiest, what would be prettier with this. I did some of that, but I did it quickly. I didn't take a lot of time. So you would think that I wouldn't buy any more plants to plant, but I did, because as it turns out, we've got to get them while they're available. Sometime in June, most usually the nurseries are going to close down till next year. And so we want to and then also especially around Memorial Day, they often put them on sale. So, you feel like you need to take advantage of those times, or I do. And the weather is cool. It's so nice to be out when the weather is cool and not burning you up. So it's also, we're supposed to get some rain, which we had another 100% chance Tuesday, which we missed. So I think we have another 100% chance tomorrow. So I'm hoping we don't miss that. But I've just got to keep going. So I want to put some more of my there's lots of little impatiens coming up here. But I do want to put some more of the little ones that I have in the front that are just coming up too thick in this little area. And I also want to put some more seed out here. I told you this was a forget-me-not. Look at that beautiful blue color, or shade of blue. And this little bacopa is gone. I was sure it would, but at the same time I hoped it wouldn't go. I hoped it would come out of it and go looking beautiful all the rest of the season, but that's not what happened. So that's one of the things I look for, and I did find the one I found is not very healthy looking either, but it's got life in it that I can tell it does, and I'm going to put it here and try again. And when I do get everything planted that I'm going to plant, I want to plant some seed. I always want to have zinnias in the garden. They're just one of my favorites. And actually these little marigolds that have finished up and are spent, like this one right here, and there's at least one more over here. I want to take those out and put them over there in that strawberry pyramid too, and see if they won't fill up that little area with the petunias that are in there also. And I wanted to come over to this little area so I could show you the red penstemon that's in bloom right now, pretty much in full bloom. And I haven't seen a hummingbird over here yet because I haven't had time to look for them. I haven't even had time to clean off the old dead peonies, but that's still in the works to do down the road a little bit once I get everything planted. And hopefully I will still get to see a hummingbird on this, and I would like to get it so you could see it too. They will come to this. They absolutely love it. And while I'm close enough to this little area, I wanted to show you that my husband actually came out and trimmed down our mock orange. He also trimmed down my weigela, which I really wasn't planning on trimming it down, but that's okay. It looks neat like this, and that way maybe it won't come out into the pathway so quickly. I still want to get an obelisk for this little sweet pea vine because it'll grow all the way up the top of it, and then it will lay down and go all the way back to the bottom and try to root itself at the bottom. So I don't really want that, and I think it would be really pretty if I could get one tall enough to just let it go up it, and then when it blooms, hopefully it'll be more enjoyable. And I also wanted to point out that he did also trim down this. This is a bridal spirea bush, and it is so lovely. It was just starting out good till we got those too cold below freezing, just below. They just didn't come out and be pretty this year, but they can just open up and flow all the way down, and actually it will at least double the height, and then some on the other side where my walkway is, and I need to have that spot to get through the garden. So I love that when he trims these down for me. They'll be back as tall as they were by the time they bloom again, most likely. Let me show you some of the little plants that I did plant the last couple of days. This is purslane moss in this little watering can. This is some more purslane moss in front of vinca or periwinkle. And then this is a beautiful non-stop begonia in a pretty shade of yellow. And this is a pretty shade of yellow on this calabachoa, which I hope it will love it here and just keep growing and going and going and going. This little plant is not looking well at all. I'm still hoping it will live and become a great little beauty because it's that purple heart that's got like a velvety fuzz on it. And I don't know if you can tell, but these little starts here are actually Mexican plain vine, and I hope they will get big and grow all the way up this little tomato cage that I'm using for a trellis and look great. And then this one has one of the ivy geranium and a couple of the polka dot plants and one of the little coleus plants. I had such hope for this little pot because this is supposedly a cone coleus, one of the big ones, and I told you that I actually did start one. The part that it fell off of, I put it in rooting powder and put it over here in this pot, but it didn't make it. The stem went ahead and rotted instead of being able to make it a root. So we've had some cold and then some hot, and they just don't quite know what to do, I guess. And then this I really wanted to see this oregano, oreganum. I don't know exactly what it's called. Let me look at this and see what it says. It's called oreganum, or ornamental oregano, and it's so beautiful when it lives and does right for me. But this one is not going to do it. I clipped it back to the green, and then even that died, so there is no green there. There's still a root. I usually hope for them till the root's gone, so we'll see. And then I put that begoniette here, but you can't see it that much right now, but I think it will still show up and be darling the rest of the season, hopefully. And there's some vinca here too for some pretty color. And this little pot, I did go ahead and get some more of these salmon colored impatiens, because this one is so close to being gone, and then this one right here is practically gone. There's nothing there but the root and one little sliver of green. So, and then there's another one, at least one more in the front that didn't make it. So I want to fill it up again, and hopefully it'll make it this time. These died. I was so surprised that they did, but they just got too cold on those 2 nights that we had that were just too cold for a lot of things. So I refilled them. The white in the middle is just a regular periwinkle, and the 2 pink ones are the trailing periwinkle. So I think this could look lovely too. And I did get some more pots. I haven't got them put the pots in these yet, because I've got to get this old cocoa liner out. And I'm going to keep it because it works good to put in the bottom of your pot, so water can go through and yet not all your dirt goes through, so, or your soil. So you can almost always find a use for other things in the garden. But I'm anxious to get the regular pots here, so I don't have to keep changing these out. And I had to move my little, I told you I put this into a clay pot just in case it was too hot over there, and it did. We had 90 and 100 degree days one day, and 50, or actually below 50 some of those days. So it's been a little bit of a struggle for the plants, but actually they've done pretty well. Some of them didn't make it, but a great deal of them did. And I really like this little pot. For some reason, it just seems to have the right width and depth to put a bunch of plants in, and they usually live and love it there. That is, of course, if you get the right plants in there, because it evidently, if it's a complete shade plant, it doesn't like it there when it gets hot. But usually you can do partial shade and partial sun plants in here, and they'll all look great and grow together and just mingle together and hopefully look beautiful. Although this one's not doing it yet, but that's okay, because that's what I want to do, is see them grow and see them change, and I just enjoy that. Look at this beautiful bright salvia. I'm sure the hummingbirds have been over here too, even though I haven't seen them over here. That does not mean they weren't here. And then I did put another little coleus in here, and it is a shade coleus, so I'm hoping it'll get enough shade to live there. And then I think this little kind of scraggly right now, but it can grow if it will just stay healthy and be able to do that. And I think it is a sun coleus, and it's a little bit taller, so hopefully it will help shade this. And I'm thinking that this little pot could use a little bit more in it too. If these fill out to their fullest and most potential, it might not even need any more. I so love the calabachoas. They just make the most beautiful mound, and they trail down, and they fit together with other things if you can keep them alive long enough to. I have a hard time with that, but This one's looking so good right now, and I hope it keeps on looking good. I hope it keeps on looking great. This little pot is looking good too. This right here is actually a little annual red salvia, and it could look great. I'm not sure if it will. It's been stunted and wondered if it wanted to keep going, but so far it's decided yes I do. So I'm hoping it will keep on having that attitude. And these beautiful little red lilies are totally spent, or just about. They're beginning to be spent. They'll soon have to be clipped off too, with all the other things that are awaiting me to do that little job, that big job. And since the sky is overcast, look how bright these pretty red salvias are. And I don't know what it is with this little, not Dracaena, but Dashandra. Why can you tell that it's still struggling a bit there? The other one on the other side looks great, but this one is still struggling some. So I put this little cigar plant in here too. I hope they'll just grow together and I'll be able to keep both of them, but if not, maybe one of them will keep this little place filled up for me. And it looks like one of my little black and blue salvias has died. I'll need to replace that, but this one on this side is looking good. And I did lift this little the plants up in this and put some more dirt in there, or some more soil in there, and put them back in there, and it's looking good. And more of my balloon flowers have opened up. And I did put some impatiens in here. I may have already shown you this, but actually I purchased some more today because these are just too scraggly. I don't think even if they fill out, they're enough to make it look really good like I want it to. This I put some more purslane moss. This of course is Angelonia, and a verbena that I'm hoping will just kind of grow together and look gorgeous there. This is some more purslane moss. Some of these I think I've already shown to you, but most of them are probably ones that I did more recently. And they've all been done recently, so we'll just see how they will go, how they will work. This is a beautiful little annual hibiscus, as is this one. And I have this all filled up with hostas. I'm pretty sure I told you that too. I've just been so busy, I don't know for sure what I've told you and what I haven't, but I've got this all filled up except for the one on the end down here, and I've got one purchased today that I want to put in this little pot. This little pot had so many little starts in it, seedlings, and I think if you can look right there at that one, I think that is a coleus right there. And I didn't have a whole bunch of coleus. There's one starting up in this pot too, if I can get it where you can see it. So I just feel good about the fact that I bought some today. I hadn't bought very many coleuses, but I found a couple of little 4-packs, and I found some of the bigger, a little more different or unique kinds of coleus that I want to put in my garden. I always love the coleuses in the garden because they're always in color. You don't have to wait for a bloom. It's beautiful color. It's like this beautiful burgundy spiked Dracaena. The color of the foliage is its color and its beauty. There's a little hosta right behind this too, and I'm hoping it's doing well. It looks just a wee bit wilty to me, but I hope that's not the case. I want all these. I want so much for them. They're supposed to come back, and most of the times they do. You can tell the ones that have came back are the ones that are big and beautiful. but some of them have struggled and not done. This one is a new one. Hopefully it will do well. All of these others are new this year ones. This one's not. This is a established, probably from last year though. So hopefully, and oh my, this little pot looks so terrible. It'll probably have to be redone. We'll see. And this lovely little pot is holding 3 little angerantum plants, and I hope they just fill this whole pot up and keep blooming and looking great. And some of these are volunteers from last year, and some of them are newly planted. And all of these little celotias are volunteers, but this little White Lights chard is newly planted here. And I'm hoping this little pot will look beautiful. It's got one of those blue agerantum and then a blue violet periwinkle on either side, and this is actually looking a little wilty. I don't want it to wilt. I want it to be so healthy and so beautiful. It's one of the fan flowers in kind of a between a blue and a purple, and all that blended together I think has such potential to look gorgeous. I just hope it will go ahead and do that and do it all summer long. So they did die out in the top, my little starts that I had, but I've got some that still have hope. I have hope for, quite a bit of hope for, actually. You know, these could get so big that I'd need to clip some of these off and put them in the spaces where there aren't any, and it could still fill out for us, and I could show you one day just how beautiful these little strawberry drop colices are. They trail, they just keep going and going, and unless you know they die, they just never quit. They just keep right on going, looking beautiful. And I did plant my little dwarf Alberta spruce, and I'm hoping that it will grow up and be a little beauty here in this part of the garden too. Oh, but this is not a good story. This is a sad story. This is that beautiful Mrs. N. Thompson beauty that's purple and red, but it got clematis wilt, so I've read to trim them down to where the wilt part is gone, but honestly this part is wilted too, not as badly as the other, but I lost all those beautiful blooms. And I'm just hoping that this will keep going. I so hope this will be in my garden. I did go ahead and put some of that topsoil on it and tried to baby it the best I could, and hopefully it will be healthy. Hopefully it will make it. And you know, lots of times the clematis or clematis vines will disappear and then come back, so don't give totally up on them. But, you know, I hope I can just see it growing and growing and looking beautiful and getting bigger and more healthy every day. That's what I'm hoping for. It's not really giving me that right now, but, you know, it's not over till it's over. And when I get done with the planting, I do want to put some seed in. Some of these pots that I didn't fill up on purpose because I wanted to save them to put. Mostly perfusion zinnias is what I want, but I'll look through my seeds and see what all I have that I would want some of in the garden. And I love this little sedum in this pot, the green and the purple. And this is more of the beautiful bright red perennial salvia. So these are my new little ones that I purchased. My lantana died, so I found some more, and I know these look like they're about to do the same. And also that verbena right here, that I'm hoping that it will live. I think if it gets in a bigger pot and has some nice weather, and I can keep it watered and taken care of, that hopefully it will shine again. And this is the little bacopa that I purchased, that it also does not look great, but it just depends on how it keeps going or if it gives up. And this is one of the fan flower plants that I do love these, like I do the calabachoas, and same thing with them. They usually play out for me before when the heat comes on. And I found this light geranium because I thought I might put these two together and have these two colors together. And then that little bright thing over there, I might put it in the pot where I have another one similar to it and see how those will work together. And then these are my coleuses that I think are just a little different than most coleuses. They're not like these over here. This is the other ones that I found, but I love these too. I love the bright red in the garden. It's just it's a little 4-year-old shouting, "Look at me, look at me." And then I love these colors too, of course I do. And I got a few more periwinkles because they do well in our hot Oklahoma summers. They usually do very well. And then more of the little, these two are the ones I got of the 4-packs that have the little coleuses in them. And then this is the one I got to replace the ones in the back of the salmon, extreme salmon impatiens. And look at this shade of yellow. Is that beautiful? I couldn't resist it, and I have so many zinnia seeds, but these just pulled me in. And then I have 3 hostas, and I've got more than 3 places to put them, so I'll have to decide where I'm going to put them, and hopefully that will happen, and I'll pick the right places. And then this one is a butterfly bush that I have tried several times, and the ones I tried last year did not come back, so I'm going to try one more time, and I'm going to plan on just putting a lot of mulch around it and hope for it. I don't know if that will work, but I'm hoping that it will. And I'll love to put these, even though I've got most all of my pots, at least something in them, so I will plan on just putting these in here and hither and yon, wherever there's a spot where I can, and that'll give the garden color, all season color. And this lovely little strawberry pot is still looking great. It won't be too long probably before it just starts filling out and covering up the whole pot and just look like one big mound of impatiens. Please be sure to like and to subscribe to the channel.